All right, today I have myself a little outdoor office. As you can see, it's such a nice day and I figured I wanted to do a video, but why be inside when you can be outside? Happens that right now Jake and I are cat sitting for a friend of my mom's. She has two ginormously, sort of morbidly obese cats that we're taking care of, and they're fed 3 times a day. If there's any cat experts out there, maybe you can tell us if that's too much. I think it's too much, but anyways, we're sticking to the schedule: 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. Or is it 12 a.m. when it's midday? Anyways, midday. But yeah, today we're not here to talk about cats. We're here to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is traveling. I love traveling. You might know that if you know me from other places and other channels. I've traveled extensively in my life, both for work and for my personal enjoyment. But throughout my life, I've also come to understand that travel comes at a very, very strong cost for the environment and really does contribute to the degradation of the environment. So today's guide actually focuses on some of my favorite sort of zero waste, travel, sustainable, essential things that I always bring with me and that I think are really important to add to your packing essentials so that you can have a more sustainable approach to traveling, even if it's just traveling to a friend's house or going for a mini staycation. It doesn't have to be a long haul, just a simple little out of the ordinary adventure. So yeah, these are obviously my travel essentials. They don't all have to be yours, and this is not me trying to incentivize you to buy the things that I like. This is just me putting out there what I love and that may be helpful to you or not. And so just making up your mind is essential here and thinking, do I actually need that or not? All right, first item is pretty self-evident, and that is a water bottle. So having a refillable water bottle whenever you travel is an absolute must, even for someone who's not interested in sustainability or the environment. It just is helpful for everyone, and I think it's a really healthy habit in general to stay hydrated and to have a water bottle. Little thing I want to preface regarding this water bottle is saying that the most sustainable item out there is the one you already have. So if you already have a water bottle, then you should stick to the one you have and not go out of your way to get a new one that's cooler or whatever. This doesn't matter. And I think this actually is counterproductive when we're talking about sustainability. It's kind of an atrocious color, but it's helpful when you're trying to find it. So that's why Jake and I bought it. So yeah, that's our water bottle. Number 2 here is shoes. So whenever I'm traveling, I have to make the decision of which shoes I'm going to bring. I would say this one's always sort of tough, but in the past couple of trips that I've done, I've tried to limit the amount of shoes that I bring to 3 pairs. So usually I have a pair of boots, and that's usually, right now I'm wearing Timberlands, and that's one that I was gifted for Christmas about 2 years ago, and that I've been wearing and re-wearing, and they've been really helpful. I like these boots. If I were to buy a new pair of boots, maybe I would change brands and try to find something that's more sustainable, but they're the ones that I have, and they're the ones that I love. So I always bring a pair of boots. The second pair of shoes that I like to bring are sneakers. So I like having sneakers, whether it's for running or for being more comfy when I'm walking and I don't want to wear boots, or if I don't want to wear sandals or something else. So having sneakers is super helpful when you're traveling, obviously. And these ones I received from Tropic Feels, and again, this is not sponsored or anything. This is just me appreciating a brand that puts sustainability at the forefront of their business model. And so they're shoes that I've actually really been enjoying. They're very, very lightweight, which I like. It's very practical for packing, and they're made from recycled materials. And the brand has a strong sort of sense of the climate emergency and that we're living through, and they're trying the best they can to make products that actually respond to a demand for sustainable products. So yeah, Tropic Feel, these shoes are really awesome, and I can't wait to actually take them out for a spin and a walk. I received them about a month ago, so I haven't had time to break them in, but they totally align with what I believe in, and I think they're going to make great travel shoes. So yeah, sneakers, boots. Alright, interrupting this video for just 30 seconds to tell you about the place that I'm cat sitting at because it's quite incredible. And I'm on a property where there are two houses that are exactly identical. And that is because at the end of the 20th century, so in the 18s, 90s or something like that, these houses were built on the same property for two twin sisters. So each twin sister had the exact same house as the other twin, which is super creepy. And they lived just within a couple meters of each other in the exactly similar same house. So this is definitely a setting for a horror movie if I've ever seen one. So hopefully I don't disappear in the next 10 days. And if I do, you know why. So this is house number 1 and it's currently abandoned. And this is house number 2. And it's currently lived in by the owner of the cats in which I'm cat sitting. But they are exactly the same and within a couple meters of each other. How creepy. Thank you for listening to this little side story. Let's jump right back into the list of my favorite traveling sustainable zero waste items. Next item that I really enjoy bringing on my trips is a tote bag. So this one's a organic cotton tote bag that I bought at my grocery store, and it's from Naturalia. I don't know if this brand exists in other places in Europe. I assume. I don't think it's in the States, but it's kind of the equivalent of Trader Joe's in Europe. And I mean, it's really practical. It says be free to be nature or natural, whatever that means. That's not the point though. The point is that having a tote bag is absolutely so incredibly helpful when you're traveling and you don't want to bring on plastic bags. I think it actually turns out to be the most essential item I have in this list because it is something that I always try to remember to have on me in all circumstances, not only when I'm traveling, but I have found it extremely helpful to have it when I'm traveling, taking the plane, or even, putting extra items that don't fit in your backpack, and then you have that bag. So perfect. A tote bag can be any tote bag. Try to focus on having, if you are to buy a new one and you don't already have one, I would say focus on trying to find one that has organic cotton in its making. I think that's good to focus on organic products in that case, because otherwise a lot of chemicals are actually weaved into the fabrics and can be harmful to our health to some degree. So yeah, organic cotton. Next one is an obvious one now. I mean, that's one that we hear so much about, and it's the freaking bamboo toothbrush. I've seen so many commercials on Instagram convincing me to buy more bamboo toothbrush, but I'm all about it. I'm all about reducing the amount of plastic that's in my life. So whenever I buy a toothbrush, it's usually bamboo. Although you have to be careful because the bristles right here are not biodegradable. So you actually have to pull them out with that thing that pulls things out. I forgot the name, that one. And so you have to pull it out and actually put it in the trash before you compost or before you throw out this whatever handle thing. There's also ways to reuse the handle. I've seen some really cool little Instagram reel videos that gives you idea of what to do to reuse these. So I'll link the link in the description below for ideas of what you can do with those without throwing them out. So really awesome. Always really strongly advise you to purchase bamboo toothbrush. I know it sounds like it doesn't make a difference, but I've participated in a lot of beach cleanups and you wouldn't believe the amount of toothbrush that you found washed up in the oceans. So that's a simple gesture that everyone can sort of do, and everyone needs a new toothbrush every once in a while, hopefully more often than not. Next item. Beautiful. The incredible and the very much essential reusable cutlery kit. So you can have a 2-in-1, for example. You could have a spork. I've chosen to go with a full set. I actually was gifted it during a film festival again, but I haven't separated from it since. And it has a fork, a spoon, and a knife, and then there's also 2 metal straws in there. And I really try my best to always remember to bring it, because there are just so many places around the world that are still using single-use plastic and that still give me plastic cutlery. Also, I have Although I have seen some real improvements in the past couple of years of people actually giving me wood utensils, which is great. But these ones are actually reusable, and they're easy to wash and easy to carry. They fit in this little pocket here. And this brand is actually called To Go Wear. So I'll link all the items in the description if you'd like to check them out for yourself. But yeah, To Go Wear. Next one is about that uncomfortable, which shouldn't be uncomfortable, topic of periods while you're traveling. You know, every woman has their period for a specific time in their life. A specific time in their life, so it's really important to talk about that. And I'm not sure why it is so taboo. So if you're a guy watching this video, please stick around. That won't be that long. And I think it's important for you to know what the options are for women to take care of their periods while they're traveling. So obviously there's tampons, there's pad, there's even how do you call that, period underwear that I've seen a lot of. I've never tried those personally, but there's many options to deal with your period. My favorite by far is actually the cup. This one's really fun because it folds itself in like this, and it fits in this tiny little case that I can carry around with me in my purse. So I actually really like this cup. Some people like to have the full cup that doesn't fold necessarily. It's really a matter of preference, but you would be surprised by the amount of waste you can reduce in landfills by switching to this solution. So if that's something you're comfortable trying out, I really recommend having a period cup with you and trying that new way of life. So yeah, that's my period cup. I cannot remember the brand. It's written right here. It's called Intimina. Linked in the description below if you'd like to check it out. All right. Next, I want to talk about skincare. Skincare is huge in my life. I'm actually listing a little video in the cards up there if you'd like to learn more about my zero waste skincare routine. But for now, I just want to talk about one single product, which, although it's not very minimal because it's kind of a big thing to bring, it is an all-purpose serum that I use a lot and that I love to travel to. It's in a glass container, so it is good. It's not in plastic. And the brand Aesop is Australian and does a lot in terms of making sure that their ingredients are natural and good for your skins, and there's no dodgy additives, silicones, paraffins, whatever you name it, all parabens, all these horrible things that a lot of brands put in their cosmetics. So Aesop is really good at that. I'm really a big fan of this brand, so that is the serum that I use personally for my face and that I always travel with. So yeah, it's heavy, it's in glass, but when you're making all these decisions to travel lighter, you can swap things out for this if it allows you to also use less plastic. Along the lines of zero waste, here I want to talk about my shampoo. I absolutely love solid shampoo. They're a really great way to reduce waste and packaging once again. So it is something that I really love using, and I'm using Lush, the brand Lush. Lush is great. I've been using them for years, but you know, there's plenty of other brands out there, and I think it really is a matter of trial and error, because a lot of people I've met said that solid shampoos they don't like because they feel like it leaves residue in their hair, which, you know, fair enough. I'm sure some solid shampoos do that in the same way that liquid shampoos in plastic bottles also do that to some extent. So I think I just want to advise you, don't give up on solid shampoos. I'm sure you'll find one that is actually making your hair beautiful and that you enjoy and that smells good. You just maybe have to look a bit harder than you have so far. So I found mine. It's in Lush, and I go buy it whenever I can. I also have this little container for it, which is helpful. They sell a round one, but I find the round one, once the shampoo gets wet, it's super hard to get it back out. So I've actually gone for the square box. It's much easier to grab the soap out at this point. All right. Last item in the list actually doesn't directly have to do with sustainability or zero waste, but it is something that I'm going to start packing in my zero waste traveling essential because it's something that I've bought quite recently, but I'm already loving. And these are glasses. They don't have prescription, but they're against blue light. So I don't know if you've heard about blue light, but it's the light that is produced by computer screen and phone screen that sort of mimic daylight in the way that your brain is actually tricked in thinking that it's full daylight and that it should be, you know, awake and alert. So when you're on your phone at night or when you're working late on the computer, your brain is actually being tricked in staying awake. And I've had trouble sleeping at night, and so that's one of the solutions that I found. It's just having these blue glasses and wearing them when I'm working on the computer late at night or generally in the evening, or just protecting my eyes in general. So yeah, I bought them quite recently in France, in a place that manufactures their glasses in France, and that, you know, weren't too expensive, so I went for it, and I bought a pair for Jake as well. So we both have our little blue glasses, and I'll be traveling with them in the future as a way to rest my eyes in the evening. So yeah, that's that. Ta-da! We're done with the list. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to punch that subscribe button, punch the like button, or whatever it is you do to support YouTube creators that you like. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I will make my best, or I'll do my best to answer in the comments as soon as possible. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and I will catch you in the next upload. Thank you.